Now, you may have missed this. In fact, you probably missed this, but this week we saw one of history's great split screen moments. On Tuesday, at the exact same time that former President Trump was being arraigned in Florida, not only were fake electors from Trump's plot to overturn the 2020 election, not only were those fake electors testifying before special counsel Jack Smith's January 6th grand jury, but at the same moment, congressional Republicans were holding their own bizarro hearing about January 6th. At the exact same time, a former president was arraigned on federal criminal charges related to unlawfully hoarding documents. Witnesses were testifying in Jack Smith's other sprawling federal investigation into that same former president, all while that former president's congressional defenders were hard at work whitewashing the January 6th insurrection. All at the same time. That sort of wild convergence belongs in the history books. And while the arraignment and the investigation of a former president is clearly of utmost importance here, I think it is worth paying attention to the fake story from Tuesday as well, the thing that was happening in Congress. Now, the witnesses for Tuesday's January 6th hearing ranged from January 6th rioters all the way up to Jeffrey Clark. Jeffrey Clark, if you recall, was the person Trump wanted to appoint as his acting attorney general in the final days of his administration so that Jeffrey Clark could declare the election stolen. So, Jeffrey Clark and a bunch of January 6th rioters. That was the focus of this thing in Congress. Now, the hearing opened with a video that was edited like a newsreel from the start of a horror film with distorted colors and a creepy soundtrack. And it suggested that January 6th was actually an inside job perpetrated by the deep state. But here is the thing about this. It wasn't a real hearing. This hearing was chaired, and I'm using vocal air quotes there, by Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz, who is not actually the chair of a congressional committee. But on Tuesday, he pretended he was. He brought in his witnesses, and he used all the formal lingo that they use in these congressional committee hearings. He told people they were recognized for various amounts of time and that their time had expired. And that was all sort of beside the point because there was no actual allotted time for any of this because it was just something that Matt Gaetz was doing on his own in the hopes that someone somewhere would pay attention to it.
All of the testimony from today and all of the record that is being kept today will be available for members to submit for the official record of the House. We're going to proceed with the second round, and we'll begin with Gentlelady from Georgia, Ms. Green.
Thank you.
This has been a highly productive endeavor, and we stand adjourned.
We stand adjourned. It was like Model UN, but instead of high schoolers mocking up a hearing on the crisis in Kashmir, it was Matt Gaetz and a bunch of MAGA celebrities trying to gaslight the public. A fake hearing. More than 2 years after January 6th, congressional Republicans are still trying to convince the public that the insurrection was actually an FBI plot and the real victims here are the rioters. This was the Republican playbook in action, going out of their way to turn the focus on the investigators instead of Trump and his allies. Joining me now is staff writer at The Atlantic, Mark Leibovich. Mark, thank you for joining me. I heard about this faux congressional hearing led by Matt Gaetz, and I said, there is literally one person I want to talk to about this, and his name is Mark Leibovich. The point of this, Mark, seems to be largely the point of the Republican Party in Congress right now, which is theater. The theater is the point. It doesn't really seem like the governing or the policy is the point. The theater seems to be the point. How do you assess Matt Gaetz's tomfoolery this week?
Yeah, I mean, it's theater, but it's really, really amateur theater, right? I mean, it's like, I was looking at those clips, and it's right out of Wayne's World. I mean, it's like, it's Aurora public access television, like down to the bad lighting. I mean, the sort of forced applause and so forth. I mean, the other part of this is they're just not very good at it, and it looks more and more pathetic and laughable. I mean, except when, you do sort of force yourself to step back and say, wait, what is this about? And then you realize it's really, really sad, and it's really, really dangerous, especially when you have, the thing that's hardest for me to get my head around and to accept is the people who know better. I mean, yes, there are a lot of people in Congress who don't take their jobs particularly seriously and obviously don't think terribly highly of their voters, their electorate, because they insult them every step of the way. The Ted Cruzes, the Josh Hawleys, the Kevin McCarthys of the world all know better. I mean, I guarantee you, if you were to put a open mic or just some kind of recording device on every single one of these people for like an hour after they stop their like show trials and stuff, you would hear them just sort of expressing some kind of self-loathing, self-awareness, just laughter over what they're doing. They all know what they're doing. That's really sad and that's really, really dangerous. But unfortunately, it's the world we're living in, and it's the GOP that we're all sort of watching every day.